Hello everyone, Zoe is here with another video and another guest. Today I'm gonna interview Ileana Lopez. She is a teacher in McKellar Girls High School in Northern Beaches area, Sydney. If you want to know more about teaching profession in Australia, watch this video. Hello everyone, this is McKellar Girls High School in Northern Beaches. Let's go and take a tour. Hi Ileana, thank you for joining us today.
That's okay, you're welcome.
Thank you. So Ileana, to start, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself and your career journey, please?
Yes, well, I came to Australia about over 20 years ago. I was studying in Mexico, literature. And when I came to Australia, I just brought my studies, my grades and whatever I had from university there, and I had it recognized here.
Cool.
To integrate into a degree that would be accepted in Australia.
That's right. So you've done all assessment on your qualification, and then you've been able to work here as a teacher, right?
No, actually, I did my assessments here in Australia.
In Australia, that's right. Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. And you are a teacher now?
I am a teacher now, yes.
So Ileana, for someone who wants to be a teacher here in Australia, which kind of qualification do they need? How they can be a teacher here in Australia, like regarding studying in universities here in Australia, or if they are coming from overseas and they have kind of like overseas qualifications?
Okay, whatever qualification you bring from overseas has to be acknowledged here in Australia. So it's important that you have all your documentation right and translated into English. Then if you have a bachelor's degree, for example, and you want to become a teacher, you will have to complete a 1-year diploma on education for secondary school, if you want to teach secondary school.
That's right.
If you want to teach primary school, you'll have to complete a 2-year diploma in education for primary school.
That's right. So majoring need to be in education, right? It can be like if someone has studied psychology, are they able to be a teacher at a school or like different fields?
If you have studied psychology, you will still have to do some study here in Australia in order to become a qualified teacher in Australia.
That's true. Okay, so they have to like add some Australian qualification to their overseas qualification plus assessment of overseas qualification, right?
Yes, your qualification will have to be complete in whatever country you're coming from.
That's right.
And then, yes, you will have to do some extra study here. Like for every profession, it's more or less the same.
Perfect. To clear it up for someone who is looking for the job and want to be a teacher, like they already assessed their qualification, and they already know they want to be a teacher, they picked it as a job, as a career, and they are looking for the job now. So for the interview, how can you help them? Like which kind of question they would be asked when they want to be hired by a school or somewhere? Like, can you help them a little bit about regarding those hiring and manager questions?
Yes, of course. Obviously, for every interview, you have to prepare yourself beforehand. And for a teaching interview, it's very important that you're able to respond questions about class control, how to manage the students in the classroom, the different learning styles, because as you know, every student is different and they all learn at a different pace. So you have to be prepared for that, to answer questions in that area, as well as for your methods of teaching. What activities would you be including in your planning? How do you plan your units of work? And you have to know the Australian curriculum for the particular subject that you're teaching. I am a history, English, and Spanish teacher, so I had to familiarize myself with the Australian curriculum in those areas. So, yes.
That's right. Are they looking for some kind of like creativity, innovation, this sort of things as well, that you have to bring it into the interview to prove yourself as a better candidate? Do you think so?
Yes, creativity is always important, as well as emotional intelligence.
Ileana, my question is about women and men, like a little bit kind of like gender equality for being a teacher. Do you know why women are more interested to be teacher than men, and how we can incentivize men to get interested to be a teacher?
Yes, I think it's very obvious in every country that there are more female teachers than male teachers.
Exactly right.
Mainly because of the flexibility of being a teacher. You have the long school holidays. And if you're planning to have a family as a woman, you want to have that time available for your family.
That's true.
Whereas men, they want to focus more on their careers, I guess.
That's true.
And how to encourage men to become teachers, that's a difficult one. I think teaching is a very important profession.
Exactly.
It's not unfortunately, it's not given the right recognition in some countries. And to be a teacher, you really have to, want it and love it. Because I guess the salaries are not as good as in other professions, especially from men that want to focus more on their careers.
Exactly right.
They might
making
find
money for the family.
Yes, they might find better salaries in other professions. But as a woman that wants to have a family and put time into her family, it can be done. It's not easy though.
Definitely.
Because as a teacher, you have a lot of work to do at home as well.
Exactly right, isn't it? All those paperwork that you
marking, marking, planning, everything. Most of that work is done at home, so sometimes you don't have as much time as you were hoping to.
That's true. Maybe just because of a school holiday, that people feel like it's a relaxed job because they get a lot of a school holiday during the year.
The school holidays, that's really good, a good part of the teaching profession, and also the school leave that you are allowed as a teacher.
That's true.
I think after teaching for 5 years full time, you are entitled to have like a full year or 6 months that you can devote to traveling, to doing what you want, and it's paid depending where you're working. So
that's true.
That's another advantage. Yes.
That's right. Cool. So all these advantages make women to be more incentivized to be a teacher, right?
Yes, but it's mainly because I think the main reason is because you like kids and you like your job. Yeah.
So Ileana, you kind of like mentioned about earning a little bit, but
Yes.
if we want to talk a little bit, like specifies it only about earning and salary for teachers, how do you define it? Like how is that in the range? Like is that a standard based on the working hours, or is that kind of like a high paid job? Like how do you define salary and earning?
Teaching is not a high paid job, definitely. A starting teacher will be earning between $65,000 and $80,000 a year, and I'm not sure if that is before tax. So,
yeah,
and an experienced teacher could be earning $120,000 a year, but that's after many years of experience.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
you have put in the hours, and then you get the results. Yeah.
After a while, that's right.
Principals and head teachers, they have a higher salary. But
They definitely make more, yeah. So it's a little bit kind of like maybe, based on different level and different titles as well, isn't it? That then the earning would go up and down. So it's in a
yes,
range.
yes.
Cool. Is that in demand? Is teaching in demand in Australia at the moment? Is that easy for someone who already studied teaching or someone who already specifies in one area to be a teacher? Is that easy for them to find a job here in Australia?
Yes, teachers are always in demand. In the history of Australia, and I'm a history teacher,
Yeah.
teachers are always in demand. It's very rare for you to be out of work. However, in my case, I started as a casual teacher.
That's right.
And when you start as a casual teacher, then you can create opportunities to be hired at the schools where they know you and they know your work. You create opportunities for yourself.
To make connections, right?
Yes, that's a good way to start. But yeah, teachers will always be in demand.
In all different majors, right? Not only in one specific area or...
Oh, well, I think as in every country, education transforms with time. Nowadays, careers in technology and alternative technologies are pretty much in demand. So I think education is going that way. Maths teachers, science teachers, and unfortunately the arts and other areas are not at that same level of demand. So when you're considering to specialize in something, and I mean it's a good idea to look at what is in demand for
what
education.
What is more in demand, which is technology and science
and math.
STEM.
Yes,
that's right. Yeah. Saying that, Ileana, how do you see the future of teaching?
Well, the future of teaching, as we have seen due to COVID, it points that towards online teaching. That's clearly inevitable. A lot of the universities did their classes online. All of the schools in Australia did their classes online. However, after saying that, I will have to stress that it is important that we can go back and balance education with classrooms and students in the classroom, because science shows that we learn through emotion, and in order to pass that emotion to the students, it's better to do that face-to-face and in a classroom and not with video. So unless we come with a way of passing that emotion through online teaching, that'll be fantastic.
To find a way, right? Technology need to fix that part first.
I think I think we will find it. But meanwhile, classroom teaching is. I am for classroom teaching.
You can
definitely
see the benefit there, right?
Yes, that's socializing, meeting your teaching, and better learning, I think.
Yeah. That's right. Perfect. That's awesome. Thank you, Ileana. Thanks for sharing all your information. I'm sure it's going to be very helpful for my audience.
I hope so.
Thank you. So at the end, is there any tip or advice that you're going to add for those who are looking for a job to be a teacher in the future, like those who already studied here in Australia in universities and they want to be a teacher, or those who immigrated to Australia, they used to be a teacher and they are in the process of assessing their qualification and they are passionate to be a teacher?
If you are passionate to become a teacher, definitely become a teacher. However, always upgrade your knowledge. If you can add a master's degree, that's fantastic, because it opens other opportunities and change of career in the future. You know, teachers, we put in a lot of energy in the classroom and you get tired. So in the future, if you want a change of career, I will advise, you know, to get a master's to open up other possibilities. Yes,
that's true. Awesome. Thank you very much again, Ileana. Thank you very much for today. And if you guys have any question, comment below. Ileana will answer your questions.